Okay guys, quick update of Bitcoin. I'm going to give you key support and resistance levels to pay attention to. I'm also going to share with you some rules that I follow. This helped me be a lot more profitable using leverage trading. Listen, if you use leverage, you're going to lose money. There's no way around it. I mean, that's just how it is. But again, the goal is to make more money than you lose. And so I'm going to share these rules that I follow that help me not lose more than I make. Again, they're very simple rules, but for some reason a lot of people don't follow them. So that's the point of this video, and to give your support and resistance levels. Remember, you can access all these live charts on the website, pinned in the first comment description. And if you use my BitGet affiliate link, it's also pinned in the first comment description as well. And one thing I like about BitGet, which is my first rule, never enter a trade without a stop loss. With BitGet, one thing I like about their platform is when you enter a trade, you can set your stop loss before you execute the trade. So that means when you get in your trade, if it goes the wrong way, you'll get stopped out right off the bat, so you won't be at a big loss. So again, rule number one, always use a stop loss. So let's cover some of this, guys. So if you watched the last video, this was on June 29th. I was telling everyone, said I'm going in a long right here at support. We got double support. Got this green fib channel line, and you got this white fib channel line, 19,089, around that area. So that's where I was going to go in along. This is further into the video. This was the G1 chart. It's similar to the M1 chart, it's on a different time frame, and it has some more fib channels in. This is where we're able to short at 21,767. So here's some calls that I made. So basically what I was saying was I'm doing a scalp long around 19,200. And I said I wasn't going in heavy, not light, just because, again, the second rule is only enter if you can get the best entry possible. So I was explaining how to play this. Said you can long support with the stop just below, or you can wait to see if we drop below and long wick, but chance missing the bounce. So basically I had three charts, C1, G1, and O1, and we had support, right, on all three of these charts. So this was the point I wanted to long. So, and again, I was saying if you wait, if price comes down and stops at one of these points and pushes up, that's where you'll enter your trade with a stop just below. Obviously, if price just kept dropping, you would not enter a long. That'd be stupid. You only if price stops and you see it pushing up, you would enter your trade. If price keeps dropping down, but knowing this is strong support, you could long when the wick stops, expecting it to push back above support. And it does do that, but we ended up dropping a lot lower. So again, in my second rule that, and again, I stick by this rule, and I'll show you as I go through these tweets. If I get stopped out a second time, I'm out. Typically, when I enter a trade, I will get stopped out on the first time. Not all the time, but typically I'll get stopped out on the first trade. If I get stopped out a second time, guys, I'm out. I wait for the next good entry. So, and again, that last pump we had, that big pump we had yesterday, I missed that pump, but I caught the dump, and I'll show you how I was able to do that. So I was telling everyone I was going to enter my trade here. So on the O1 chart, we found we got close to support. I said, look, I'm in my long trade. And I said a safe stop would be around 19,100, 19,000. Again, another rule, only enter if you can get the best entry possible. You want the best risk to reward. So I want to find the perfect entry with a stop, only $50 to $100 below. And you say, well, that's kind of a tight stop, but if you're using $4,000 at 40 times leverage, just dropping $200-300, you could be out a lot of money. And I'm going to show you somebody's trade that they didn't use a stop loss and how much they lost. It's just insane. So I said, look, I got stopped out. I said I'll re-enter bottom of a wick because we have double support. Again, I was saying this is going to be very strong support. Even if we drop below it, I expect us to push back up. And I said I was stopped out. I was talking about my trade. I said entering one more time here. Next support is around 18,500. So my stop loss. So my stop loss is close to 18,900. If I get stopped out again, I will just wait for the next support. Again, my other rule: do not chase trades. Do not revenge trade. If you miss it the first time and you miss it the second time, for me, I'm out. But this stop that I put actually held, so I didn't get stopped out a second time. This is my trade. I was up $50. I just entered. So far, so good. I said next candle open on the G1 in 12 minutes, and if we can hold this point and push up, things could work out well. And this is where I have my stop loss right here. And you can see on the G1 chart, we were stuck between resistance and support. So it was either going to break to the upside or the downside. And right here, I know it can be a little scary. Sometimes you have to have faith in the charts. And you can see the H1 chart actually did nail this right here. And I'll cover this. I covered this in the previous video as well. I'll show you that. But we called support, we pushed up, and we pushed up from this point. But I also said the Dow is negative 370 points at the time of this tweet. You can see, if you see it go down negative 500, negative 600, get the F out of your trade. And then I made a tweet after that. The Dow was down 500 points. I said, not looking good, guys. I'm out. So I hopped out of my trade, and I'm glad I did. And I told others to do it as well because we dropped below support. So another rule I've added is follow the indices. If the markets are up, Bitcoin's up. If the markets are down, Bitcoin's down. But we were below, so now this was resistance. And if we keep going, so I was talking about the next monthly candle open. So this is that pump we had, right? And it said massive short squeeze. So you can see that we did push up from this point, but I could not find the perfect entry, so I missed the pump. And you can see how much we pushed up. I mean, it was just an insane pump. But again, I did miss the pump, but I did catch the dump. So this is the M1 chart. So currently you can see your current support we're pushing up from. That I told you last time. You know, we dropped below it, but we pushed back above it. So your current major support right now to be long from is around 19,122. And I'll come back and give you support and resistance levels. So this is an M1 chart. This was published on March 23rd. Again, this is called the top at around 69,000. And right here is where I told everybody is short. And watch what happens when we come down. This is that white line that was going to be a support, and this line right here as support. So again, you short when you hit this line. And if we zoom in, you can see. And this isn't on wicks, so you can't see the wicks, but you can see what happened. We came down, we found support. We found support, and now we're currently at supports. This is where you'd be long from. If we drop below this point, well, we have a lot more downside. I'll give you those targets as well. And this was into that same video. This is the H1 chart. Told you we found support. So if we break 19,800, your next support level is this fib channel below. And that's the point of these charts, is to give you the entry points, the best entry possible. But again, it's not always going to hold. Sometimes, you know, this is very strong support level, but sometimes you can dip below it. And if you'll notice, that's exactly what happened. You know, we found perfect support here at 18,927. We dipped below it, so you would have got stopped out. We found support right on it, perfect support, but we dipped below it. Guys, exchanges want to take your money. Look, they want to liquidate longs, liquidate shorts. They want to stop you out. So we got this insane pump. Well, how the hell do you know when it's going to stop? I mean, you could set a horizontal line and say, okay, well, your resistance, you know, is up here somewhere, but finding that exact point to enter is very difficult. So I was just waiting and looking for my next entry point. And that's when I made this tweet. I said, this was 10 hours ago, I said, because candle opened below and markets are down, right? The markets were down 100 points after market trading. This candle opened just below this point. So I said, I'm short from 20,390 with a stop just above. And this is what I'm talking about, getting the perfect entry point. Now, while price pushed above this, now I had this rewound back. If I hit play, let's hit play right here. So you can see how this played out. I just have it wound back because you don't know where the hell to enter your short on this trade because it went way above our resistance levels. I mean, this was complete manipulation, pushing price up to liquidate shorts. That's all it was. It was a short squeeze. But with this chart, you can see once price came back down, look, once we started retracing back down, the next candle opened right below this line. It did push up, but came back down. Once it came back down below this point, I entered my short at 20,387, and because markets were down, that told me likely we're coming down. So that's why I entered my short. And this is how it played out. When I woke up this morning, I said, what a pleasant surprise. We had dropped from 20,400. So again, if you find the perfect entry, so you enter when. This is when I made the tweet. So I said, look, you enter here, right? So this gives you the best risk to reward. You enter right at, when this wick comes back down and is below this point, you enter your short, you set your stop. I had my stop $50 above this point. So if it pushed up, I lose a fraction of what I can make if we continue down. Again, perfect entry point. But that played out well, and we came down. So let me go through a few more things here. So you can see, look, we came down in this line right here. Notice we got a wick below, but you can see the meat of the candle. It pushed right back above this point. This line is the same line on the M1 chart, the one I covered in the last video. We had this wick down, but look, the meat of the candle is right above this line. So you could have long this wick. That's risky. What I would do is wait until we push back up. Next candle opens above this point, you enter your long. So 19,140 is now your support. Obviously, if that breaks, you know, your next major support is 19,028. If that breaks, well, I'll give you an next support level below. Just showing you how I trade, guys. This was a perfect entry point for a trade. Even though I missed the pump, I caught it from the top, almost the top, all the way down. So, and this is our Discord, guys. If you sign up to get access to charts, you get access to Twitter, Discord, and the charts. This is someone that played my call. They got in a little late, but they played it. So this guy says impeccable call. He entered at 20,325, and the last price at the time of this post was 19,442, and he used 50 times leverage. So you can make a lot of money if you play them correctly, but again, always use a stop loss. This is an example. I'm not going to show the person, but this is someone that chose not to use a stop loss, that was hoping it would drop back down. He was in a long, so he was hoping it would push back up. But this guy is down $26,301. You should never be in a situation like that, ever. That's why you use a stop loss. You cut your loss. If your trade did not play out the way you wanted it to, cut your loss before it gets... This is ridiculous. No one should ever be in this situation. If you enter a trade and you have a good entry, you set your stop loss. If it plays out and you make money, great. If it goes the wrong way, get out of your trade. That's the point of a stop loss. That's so this never happens. No one should ever be down more than, I don't know, $300, $400, especially $26,000. So that's why using a stop loss is very important and getting the best entry. This was a chart I made. This is the Q1 chart. I talked about this in previous videos. I was telling everyone, it's Q1 right here, you can see it. I was saying this is a pivot ring. I said when we cross this ring, I expect to possibly get a little pump and then ride down the ring. This published on June 25th. You can see how this played out. We crossed the ring, got a little pump, and we've been moving down this ring. And I expect us to move further down this ring. And I will give you support resistance levels, guys. Just showing you how I trade these charts and the safe way to trade. So this is the Q1. This is on the daily. Notice what happened. And guys, when I make a video saying we're coming up on a pivot ring, you need to pay attention to the damn ring. All right, we crossed this ring and we dropped. And so far from this point, we have dropped a total of 15%. Playing that with leverage, you make a killing. This is that chart zoomed in. This is just a regular, I keep this on the 3 hour. So right now you can see your major resistance above is around 19,752. If you get above and hold support above 19,752, well, your next resistance above to watch is up here around 21,289. And your very strong resistance above now is, 21,858. If we break below 18,283, your next support level to catch a bounce is right here, 16,521, depending when you make contact. You can see you found a lot of support right here. This will hold support as well. You can see all of the support right here, resistance and support. So we know this is your next support level to catch a bounce around 18,283. This is the 01 chart, and if you watch that previous video, I was talking about this point when we pushed up. A lot of charts were in confluence, around 21,600, 21,700. That's how we knew to short. And if you go back and look at the stock market topped out right at this point we started dropping. But that's a hell of a short, guys. And look right here. Right here on the 01 chart, we're holding support right here at 19,081. So we pushed up. Notice right here, these charts, while we had, look at this crazy wick that pushed all the way up. Now using the other chart, I was able to enter a short, around 20,300. But this is another chart on a different time frame. This is on the 4 hour. Notice when we came down, notice the candle opened here. We got this crazy wick up and came right back down. You think it's a coincidence that the meat of the candle is right below this fib channel line? It's not. The way I create these charts, it helps you find the perfect entry. So while some people might have jumped in a trade with this crazy wick, which would have been gambling, nothing more than gambling, once we came back down below this point, this is where you enter your short. So that's why you need to refer to the different charts. So this is a perfect point to enter a short. The meat of the candle is below it. And now your support's right here. So if we push up, right, we know your next key resistance to put in a short is around 20,017, all right? And if we push up above that, well, your next strong support is around 21,851. Notice we got some matching support and resistance levels on multiple charts. Always use different charts, compare the two, or compare multiple charts, and if you see matching support and resistance levels on charts charted different ways, typically that will hold to get rejected or hold support. If you break 19,094, the next point of chance long is down here around 18,325. The Dow Jones, guys. So if you watched the previous video, I talked about this. You got to follow the indices. Now, I made a post in Discord. I was saying, look, if Ethereum is bullish and Bitcoin is bullish, be bullish on Ethereum. If Ethereum is bullish and Bitcoin is bearish, you need to be bearish on Ethereum. If Bitcoin is bullish and the stock market is bullish, be bullish on Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin is bullish and the stock market is bearish, I'm sorry, you have to be bearish on Bitcoin because the stock market dictates the direction that Bitcoin will go. So that's why you need to follow the stock market. We topped out right here. Bitcoin just started dumping. We held support right here. We pushed up. Bitcoin started pushing up as well. So again, follow the indices, guys. Right now, you can see the Dow is down, 18 points, which is pretty much flat. But if you start seeing the Dow drop 300, 400, 500 points, Bitcoin's going to start dropping. So if Bitcoin's at resistance, you start seeing the Dow just tanking, the NASDAQ, the S&P, then Bitcoin's coming down. If you start seeing it going to the positive 300, 400 points, Bitcoin's probably going to push up. And guys, I've talked about this chart. I have a published chart. I don't have it up right now. But this ring right here, this ring, I was predicting when we hit this point, we would either move down the inside of this ring, but I knew something would happen at this point. You can see we've been bouncing down this green ring, all right? This is the Dow Jones. I expect us to continue bouncing down this ring. Your first bottom to watch is going to be right around August, this is August 1st right here. That's why I'm saying our first bottom is potentially going to be around, I gave you that target around 16,500. It's on this chart right here. Right here. So I expect us to move down this line. I think our first bottom point is going to be around 16,500. It's going to be on August 1st, which plays along with that Dow Jones chart. So, and I said this in the last video. If I expect us to do something like this, we could just bounce down this line, come back down below with support, resistance, break above it. But I think we're going to just move down this line until we get to this target. We might get a bounce from there. We'll have to figure out where our points, probably right here would be a resistance to watch. But I do think we're going much lower. And again, on this M1 chart, just so you know, if we do break this support, this is very strong support. Again, this is double support, guys. Very strong support. So if we break below 19,122, well, the last point we caught a bounce was at 17,644. So that's the next point to catch a bounce. This is actually a fib retracement I'm using with my fib channel chart. So again, 17,644, next point to go in a heavy long. This is the exact same point we found support. And it just so happens that is an actual line on a fib retracement. And as I said before, if something crazy happens and we push up, nothing has changed, guys. The highest I see us going would be around 23,300. Again, it depends when you make contact. This is 23,300. Out here is 23,672. Remember, this right here is the 300. This is the 200 weekly moving average. This down here is the 300 weekly moving average. I've explained why I believe this is our target in the time frame for our target. We have, and I showed you how this chart played out. We have this line right here. This going to be support. We've got the 300 weekly moving average, and we have this blue ring right here. So that's why I believe we're going to be hitting 16,500 around August 1st. And then I believe after that, even if we get a pump, I think we're going to get that one last dump that I think will take us down to at least, my analysis says around 10,000. You don't have to believe it, but I think it's going to be a slow grind down to this point, probably get a pump, and then down we go. And that will be the last drop. And I think that will be the absolute bottom. So let's move on. So cover the Dow Jones. So guys, again, I use BitGet. If you use my affiliate link, that is pinned in the first comment and description. Again, one reason I do like using BitGet is because before you even enter a trade, you can set your stop before you enter your trade. That is very important. You can use up to 125 times leverage. I can tell you guys, if I say I'm going in a light trade, typically I'll do about $1,000, 20 times leverage. If I say I'm going in heavy trade, typically that's $4,000 to $5,000 with 40 to 50 times leverage. That's when I'm very confident about my trade and have a very tight stop loss. I do have a tutorial that I teach you, and I need to update this tutorial. I promise you guys I will. I will do it soon. But this is just simulated trades. This shows you, so you can create an account with BitGet. Go to simulator trades. They give you a certain amount. I think they give like 3,000 SUSDT is fake money. So you can practice doing longing and shorting, setting a stop loss, get comfortable with the platform, see how much you would have made, how much you would have lost. When you're comfortable with this, then use the actual platform. I'll put a link in this video now if you want to check it out. And guys, if you do want to sign up, you get access to the charts. I do create these charts to help you find the best entry points to long and short. I do have stocks. Some of the stocks need to be updated. I'm mainly just using the Dow, the DXY, and the S&P. I do have some other charts in there that are up to date, but I do need to update the stocks charts. Tutorials, this teaches you my method of charting. Again, this method of charting I came up with myself. If you want to learn why these charts are so accurate or be able to create these charts for yourself, I do have tutorials. I have 5 tutorials about 45 minutes long each. The very first tutorial I teach is about trend lines. Then I teach about fib channels from trend lines, and then fib circles from fib channels, which is really amazing. And then, of course, for $49 a month, you get access to Bitcoin charts, altcoin charts, precious metals, our Discord, and Twitter. And if you do want to pay with USDT, you can, but you need to email me through the website. And if you do subscribe, make sure you email me through the website to get access to Twitter and Discord. But guys, that's pretty much it. Let me give you a key support resistance levels to pay attention to just one more time just to make you aware. If 19,122 breaks, the next point I'm going in long is 17,620. If we push up, I will go in a heavy ass short at 23,411. I don't see that playing out. I think we have a lot more downside. And remember, I believe that we're headed to at least 16,500 around August 1st. If you watch previous videos, I think it's very possible late August that we will be down around $9,000 to $10,000. Let me make sure I gave you all your key support and resistance levels on these charts. So let's go to this one. So look, right now, your next support below 18,650. We're coming up on resistance right now. I'll try to get this video up quick. Right here is your resistance on the H1 chart, 19,333. Your next resistance just above is right up here at 19,592. You can short every one of these. Just watch it play out. The next resistance above is 19,926, and your next major resistance above is right up here at 20,500. This is the G1 chart. So again, very strong resistance above. So if we continue up, this is your support you should be long from, 19,148. If we push up, next point too short is 20,254. Your next major resistance above is going to be up here at 21,115. We know this because we topped out up here, right? Totally respected this fib channel line. It will respect it again. So that's what I'm saying. I give you the perfect entry points. You would, if price pushes up and stops at 21,100, you would enter your short here with a stop just above. If you get stopped out, if you want to try it again, that's fine. But me, if I get stopped out second time, I just wait for the next point. But this is your first major resistance above on the G1 chart, 20,254. And again, if 19,148 breaks, well, we do have support just below at 19,051. If that breaks, then again, that's when I would go to the M1 chart around 17,620. This is the Q1 chart. Make sure I gave you support resistance level. So yeah, 19,752 is your next resistance above. If we push above that, your next resistance just above that is right here at 21,000, depending on you make contact, 21,260. And the next resistance above, you can see all of this support and resistance, guys. So we know this is the next point to enter a short, right up here at 21,900. Next point to long, 18,283. And then you can see down here, 16,445. And I gave you support resistance levels on the O1 chart. So current support, 19,094. 20,017 next resistance, and next major resistance above 21,851. And again, guys, if you have access to the charts, load up different charts. I do guide you on Twitter and Discord, but load the different charts up, look for matching targets. That's more likely that point will hold to get rejected or find support. So guys, that's pretty much it. Just remember, if we drop, I'm going in a heavy long at 17,620, but overall I expect a lot more downside for the stock market, which means I expect a lot more downside for Bitcoin. All right, guys, trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.